topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Barry G. Fowler, EA, brings you Tax Talk for You right here on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. As an enrolled agent and a national leader in tax resolution, as well as trucker, bookkeeping, and tax planning with over 30 years of experience, Barry will break down taxes, bookkeeping, tax planning, and tax relief for individuals and businesses just like you. So let's have some Tax Talk for You with your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, good Monday morning. I hope everybody's having a great day. I know we got a few new listeners out there that I've talked to, over the weekend and last week. Glad to have you. Anybody else you know that wants to know more about taxes, bookkeeping, trucking, small businesses, tax problem resolution, make sure you refer them over to taxtalk4you.com. Follow us there. Follow us on Facebook. Whatever you got to do to make sure that you're here joining us Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We're here to talk about taxes. You have those Mondays that just don't start the way life's supposed to. Sometimes you get in your truck and all the lights light up and you go, what's going on now? Or it doesn't turn over, or it doesn't start, or whatever the case may be. Today, we come into the office, we have plans on how we're going to run the show, and you're going to talk about retirement, tax savings, trucking, you name it. And all of a sudden, all morning long, you have computer issues. So how do you prepare for a show when you're having computer issues? You fall back on years and years of knowledge, and maybe things that you've seen over the weekend that drive you nuts. Here in this case, we're experts at what we do. Bookkeeping for truckers, taxes for truckers, small business bookkeeping, small business taxes, individual taxes, you name it, tax resolution. And then you go online and you see somebody going, anybody can do this. Anybody can do bookkeeping. Here, just take this 3-day cram course on how to use your favorite tax software, QuickBooks, right? And now you can sell bookkeeping to everybody and anybody because you are an expert. Man, sometimes when I read that, I am glad I'm wearing my boots. And sometimes you think you need some hip waders because, just because you take a 3-day course doesn't make you qualified to do bookkeeping or taxes or tax resolution. This is what gives people in my industry a bad name. Having years of expertise in what we do, bookkeeping, taxes, tax resolution, fighting IRS and problems. And, this is what makes what we do and what we are doing in business the excellent choice for your business and to help you. We offer low-cost programs for truckers. And starting at $25 a week, you can go to truckertaxtools.com, see what we do, click contact us, call us, let us get you scheduled. Let's talk about your bookkeeping. You got people out there thinking they can do it, but they have no clue what they're doing. I've seen financial statements from some of these wonderful people that have been in the business full 3 days that are now doing bookkeeping for our truckers or small businesses out there. You know, I hate to throw people under the bus, but I have a friend who decided, you know, bookkeeping is a lucrative business. Well, bookkeeping is a time-consuming business. Bookkeeping takes a lot of knowledge of, hey, where do I got to classify these things? Where do we got to go? We spend a lot of time training our people to be excellent at what they do, you know, for truckers and for small businesses, you know, across the country that we service. They called me about every other week trying to ask me questions. What should I do with this? How should this be classified? What should be done with this? How do we make this work? Our balance sheet isn't working. Is this balance sheet right? Give me a break. You took the 3-day course. You should know. You're the expert, not me. Okay, so, you know, I can get on my soapbox and talk about this. You know, it's the same thing that happens in resolution. We see advertised all over the place. And I'm not going to throw certain companies under the bus, but we train for tax resolution. If you do taxes, you can do IRS problem resolution. And those people are the ones that give problem resolution tax people a bad name. They don't follow through with what they're going to do. They don't communicate what they're doing. They sell, they undercut, they do all these things to get you to call them to do their IRS resolution. And then now you got a bigger problem. And then you want to call me to resolve the problem that they created and made worse because they had no clue what they were doing. They were stuck in maybe inch deep mud when they started, and now it's up to your hip, and you need hip waders, and you need something else to help get you out. See, this morning just didn't start out the way we wanted the morning to start out. But what you learn is a valuable lesson. It's kind of like the trucking industry. You jump into a truck, it's got 18, 24 gears, and you got to work your way through those gears. And if you don't know what the heck you're doing, your truck's in the shop and you got a bigger problem. And if you've hired one of those that went through, hey, I got through this driving academy and now I'm the wonderful, most perfect truck driver out there, and they're undercutting everybody and creating a bad name and a bad industry for you. We've seen it. It's the way it goes. And maybe they're transporting that load for you, and now you've got a bigger problem and you've got to call somebody else to get that load off the road. Or they drop the load on the side of the road, now you got a bigger problem. We've seen it. It happens. You know, and that's part of life. You know, sometimes you've got to start from the beginning and work for somebody else. Learn your trade, learn your business, go to college, get your education. It's not a 3-day crash course. Somebody once asked me, can you teach me how to do bookkeeping? Yeah, but it's a long time commitment. Do you have several years for us to teach you everything in the ins and outs of bookkeeping? It's not just how you use QuickBooks. It's not just how to sell somebody that you know how to use QuickBooks. Because just because you know how to do QuickBooks doesn't mean you know how to do bookkeeping. Just because they taught you how to sell, and to sell somebody and say, hey, I can do this for $100 a month. Great. God bless you and good luck to you. And if you hired one of those that just came out of that 3-day crash course, God bless you and good luck to you. You know, I used for an example, somebody sent me QuickBooks, said, hey, I did it myself because I am my bookkeeper. And they had $150,000, $180,000 and asked my accountant. What is this? Well, we're just asking you, can you break this down for us and put it where it's supposed to go? No, you did your own bookkeeping. You're the expert. You fix it. If you want us to fix it, we do charge to do this, and we're going to charge our hourly rate to go through and do this. And you're not going to be happy because we're going to end up going back and redoing almost all your bookkeeping for you because it's all wrong as we get into it. No, we'll do it. We understand. 3 weeks later, they're calling me back. We just need your input on what we should do with it. You're the bookkeeper. You figure it out. Today's Monday. It's going to be a glorious week. We know that. It's going to be fun. I spent the weekend traveling across the roads of Texas. Drove from Hempstead to Cisco, Texas, back down to Temple, Texas, then back home to Hempstead. Traveled Saturday to Livingston, Texas, and then back home to Hempstead, Texas. Great day on the road. Man, saw a lot of good truckers. Stopped at a couple of truck stops, talked to a few truckers. Man, hope you guys have a great week. A couple of truckers hauling cattle. God bless them, and having fun. Good old boys out there and taking care of the cattle industry and stuff. And it was good to meet you all at a couple of the truck stops out there, and good to see you on the road. We're going to get to this. The next section we're going to talk about is retirement plans and what retirement plans you should be using for your small business. And we'll get to that right after this break.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. If you owe the IRS or are going through an IRS audit, don't go at it alone. Call Taxation Solutions Tax Relief at 888-930-1016. We are your solution for IRS debts, audits, back taxes, garnishments, liens, and levies. Whether you're an individual or business, you need a solution and a strong, aggressive tax resolution. Don't let the IRS walk all over you. Stop the IRS now. Call 888-930-1016 or go to taxationsolutions.net now for a free, no obligation consultation. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, welcome back. Hey, Kenny, thanks for joining us here. Saw you sent a message into us saying hi. It was good to meet you out there in Cisco, Texas, where we stopped at one of the truck stops up near there. So it was good to meet you and good to have a conversation with you. Stay safe out there on the road, and thanks for all that you do. Hey, we're talking about saving for retirement. First time we had this conversation with small businesses and everything, they're like, well, we can't afford this. And when we talk with truckers, they're like, hey, nobody's ever talked to us about saving for retirement or retirement accounts. And, as I say to most people in business, you're not planning to do this for the rest of your life. I've talked to a lot of truckers and they kind of laughed at me and said, hey, I plan on, being in this seat till the end of time. Hey, great. Good for you, but maybe you want to spend some time with family, or maybe you want to slow it down at some point. And, we're always looking for tax strategies to save money on taxes and do different things. But saving for retirement is one of the strategies that you can be using to save money on your taxes. But at the same time, putting a little nest egg over here on the side so that you eventually could slow down and live happy or a little bit better in retirement and not be in the truck every single week. So what kind of accounts can you use? We talk about retirement accounts for the self-employed. We're talking about tax advantages accounts like SEP, self-employed, simplified employee pension plan IRA, self-employed 401k, simple IRAs, and then there's different advantage type 401ks as well. Even including in these strategies might be like something like a health savings account, HSA, another potential savings for, long-term savings, since, in an HSA, it's not a use it or lose it. So, whether you're planning to, retire early or keep working well into, retirement age, you're going to need some savings, at some point. And the good news for you, being self-employed, gives you access to certain tax advantage accounts with the higher contribution limits that you can get than using a traditional IRA. So you can use that SEP IRA, Simplified Employee Pension Plan, SEP IRA. It offers tax-deferred growth for individuals or small business with 1 to 4 employees, while allowing contributions up to $70,000 in 2025. They have some requirements and everything in there. If you've got employees, then you've got to do matching and the same contribution type for yourself as well as all the employees. But if you're self-employed and you're the only employee, or maybe it's just you and your spouse, you're using an SEP plan like this can definitely give you some tax advantages to saving money. The other one is a self-employed 401k. If it's just you or you and your spouse working for a business, your self-employed 401k lets you put money aside tax deferred or even tax free. It features higher contribution limits, again, up to $70,000 for 2025. And since you can contribute both as an employer and employee, gives you some good advantages there. There are rules and regulations to it. So we'll come back to some of these rules and regulations for some of these plans. You can use a simple IRA. It's a savings investment match for employees, simple IRA. It's a plan for businesses with fewer than 100 employees. Contribution limits are much lower than those with a self-employed 401k or a SEP IRA. So, you got to look at what those limits are. And then there's got some advantage plans. So, like the Fidelity Advantage 401k is a pooled employer plan designed specifically for growing businesses. It features all the benefits of the 401k, such as higher contribution limits and an employer match, with a simplified plan design and reduced administrative responsibilities. So there's some good plans that are out there. So if you're not sure, which plan is for you, we can kind of take a look at some of these plans. One of the other things that we talked about at the beginning of this segment was HSAs. One thing I like about HSAs, it's a health savings account. That HSA health savings plan is, a long-term savings option that you can consider when you have a health savings account. You can save, 15.3% on any contribution, since you're paying as an employer and employee. This is money that's going in before your Social Security and Medicare, tax. Allows you to keep that money there, accumulate that money, and then use the money that you have there for health payments. So every time you go to the doctor, meeting co-pays or deductibles, things like that, can be done through this health savings account, and you can have it investable, and that investment continues to grow tax-free, and then, until you're use up the funds and stuff. And it's your money. It's not a use it or lose it like you used to see with these flexible savings accounts and these other health accounts that you used to have when you worked for an employer. You would have to use it by the end of the year. This money continues to sit out there and continue to grow, and it becomes your money, even if you choose different insurance or change insurance or even have insurance that's not HSA qualified or anymore. Some of the things that, we do like when we're dealing with these plans is that you can maximize, the money that you have out there. Some important things like the self-employed 401k, their contribution. If you're between the ages of 60 and 63, you're eligible to contribute up to $11,250 additional money as a catch-up contribution. If your plan allows, so there's certain plan rules you've got to go through out there. So, you need to, make sure you're looking at the plans that are there. The combined limit for employers and employees is $70,000 or 100% of the employee's salary, whichever is lower. So if you're working with somebody and they're keeping your guaranteed payments or your salary a little bit lower, let's say you're in the 60,000 range, then you're going to be limited to that 60,000. You're not going to be able to go all the way up to the 70. If you're, again, in the 60 to 63 range, instead of 70, you're $81,250. But if your salary is set lower, then you're going to be set to that lower limit. So this is something that you can look at and decide, hey, maybe I want to increase my salary so I can maximize my contribution to my 401k and use that 401k there for yourself. And you might split up a 401k between, Roth and the traditional type as well. Hey, we had a question here. Where would a person find a self-employed 401k plan? Well, if you call us, we've got some great advisors we can refer you to. So you can call us over here at Trucker Tax Tools. You can use our direct number, 877-966-2477, and we can get you referred over to somebody to get you set up with a 401k, or you can go simply to fidelity.com or Schwab. They've got some self-employed plans out there as well. So there's a lot of fun things that we get to talk about in setting up for retirement. But using the retirement plans to save yourself money is the ideal thing for you to do, to put money away pre-tax and avoid some of the high taxes out there. After the break, we've got a couple other questions about what is a levy and can tax people take business money without notifying the business. And we're going to address those right after this.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. As an owner-operator, you already spend too much time away from your family. Trucker Tax Tools handles all your bookkeeping and taxes no matter what level trucker you are. Life on the road can be taxing, but that doesn't mean that your wallet or time with your family should suffer. Trucker Tax Tools makes your life run smoothly. Go to truckertaxtools.com for a free guide that will give you the tools to never worry about your taxes again. Call Trucker Tax Tools at 877-966-2477 or go to truckertaxtools.com now and let the experts keep you trucking. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, welcome back. We love questions. So if you got questions, you send them in to the radio station, or you can send them over here to us at Trucker Tax Tools, Taxation Solutions Tax Relief. Our phone number here at Trucker Tax Tools is 877-966-2477. Hey, give us a call. Let us get started doing your bookkeeping, your taxes for you, and helping you keep your truck on the road and not having to worry about bookkeeping or taxes. And you're going to have quality bookkeeping with 30 plus years of experience here doing trucker bookkeeping and trucker taxes. You've got the knowledge of the people that can handle and help you keep your truck on the road running smoothly. And yes, questions, great questions. What is a levy? A levy is when the IRS, and if we're talking about a tax levy, is when the IRS goes in and takes all the money out of your bank account because you owed the IRS money. Now, the IRS will send you letters and notices. They'll send you a final notice, even a certified notice of intent to levy, and they're going to levy your account within roughly 45 days. And they're going to take everything that you have there to try to satisfy the levy amount. Now, if you have the full amount in there to settle it, or more money than that's in there, they're only going to take up to what you owe. But if you have less than that, they're going to take it all. Second question we had come in here: can the tax people take business money without notifying the business? It depends on which tax people you're talking about. You're talking about the IRS. You owe them money. They have notified you first and sent you letters. Yes, they can levy your bank accounts, even the business accounts. And with your name and Social Security is attached to it, and maybe you're self-employed, they can take it. If your name and Social Security number and you owe money personally is on any other accounts out there, they can take it. That includes your kids, grandkids. If you've got 529 accounts set up with your Social Security number on it, for kids or grandkids, they can take that money. If your Social Security number is attached to any of your kids' accounts, they can take that money, or even parents' accounts, they can take that money if you owe the IRS. So if you're talking about us as tax preparers, no. You're going to sign, let's say, money to come out of your account to go to the IRS to pay your taxes that are due. You will sign the tax return. And you'll also sign a transaction form that says this money is coming out and going to the IRS. The IRS is going to pull it. If you're doing payroll with somebody like us at Trucker Tax Tools, then that money for payroll taxes you've already signed is going to come out. You're going to get notified through email or phone call that, hey, these taxes are due. And this is when this is coming out. Question: is any of this stuff we're talking about just for truckers? No. We specialize in doing truckers, but we do service other clients and other small businesses all across the country as well. Trucker Tax Tools focuses on trucking. Taxation Solutions Tax Relief, Taxation Solutions does bookkeeping and taxes for all small businesses out there. These retirement accounts we just talked about can be applicable to any small business out there. So if you're looking for tax savings, they will use everything. You can use all these accounts to save yourself money on taxes. Next question we got coming in. This has been rapid fire questions, and I love it. I'm assuming the IRS leave your bank account in a negative status. So here's what happens. The IRS takes every dime out of your account. The bank you're banking with charges you a fee for honoring the banks or the IRS levy. So when they open your account back up, your account is at negative because you owe the bank your fee. Everything else, every transaction, let's say you had checks outstanding, you had debits outstanding that hit your account after the IRS levy hits your account is going to go negative. They will not pull any funds back from the IRS to make those payments. Too bad, so sad, is what the bank is going to tell you. What you should have done is called Taxation Solutions Tax Relief, gotten ahead of the problem, stopped this levy, and then you would not have that problem. So if you've got a levy that's outstanding, you've got a final notice of intent to levy that maybe you received last week or the week before, or even on Friday or even today, call us at 888-930-1016. Again, 888-930-1016. And let us talk about getting relief for your tax problem before it gets to the IRS levy. You don't want the IRS levying your bank account. Then let's get a plan in place to put a solution. That means you're going to have to do some work. Unfortunately, just because you hire us and we put a hold and we get a stop doesn't mean it's time to ignore us and the IRS. It means it's time to do the due diligence and the work that we ask you to do to put a final solution in place to solve this tax debt and get you some tax relief that you have been wanting, needing to get rest and get sleep. Hey, great questions. Great questions. I love them. You know, I love doing IRS problem resolution and fighting the IRS and talking with the IRS and putting something to bed to where you can rest at night, sleep at night. And I get phone calls from people and saying, oh, thank God, I'm so happy to have you. So glad we went with you or came back and decided to go with you because you followed through with what you're going to do and what you said you're going to do. I had a couple people mad at me because we've been working on an issue for maybe 9 months, but they have not actively done their part. You know, we needed bookkeeping. They didn't want to pay us to do bookkeeping for them for their business. We need bookkeeping to get the solution in place. If you would just get it done for us, get it to us, that solution would already be there. We had a person that wanted an instant offering compromise. Well, okay, provide this. And then they dragged their feet. 4 months later, they're finally providing it. And we're having to start all over to fight the IRS. So if you hire somebody, be ready to get moving, get things done, especially if you run a small business or a big business. Let's get it done. Next question we had was, would your company be able to do books and take taxes for a company that is making under $50,000 a year? Absolutely. We have great plans for your business. Give us a call. Let us get started. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about other tax saving strategies for you in your life to save you as much money as possible. We'll be right back after this.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. As an owner-operator, you already spend too much time away from your family. Stop spending time doing paperwork. Go to TruckerTaxTools.com, a solution built specifically for truckers. TruckerTaxTools.com makes your life run smoothly. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
welcome back. Tax strategies. Like I said, hey, we started today Monday, and you name it, what could go wrong, did go wrong. Trying to come up with, what we're going to talk about today and making sure that everything was going to work. Hey, it was a Monday. But we made it, and we're making it through this program. Thanks to all the wonderful and good questions we've been getting from our listeners out there across the country. We're glad to have you. You're looking for a tax strategy. Maybe you're a W-2 employee. And the first place I start is going back to IRA or retirement contributions. If your company has a 401k, SEP, offers matches, maximize your contribution. And I don't care what age you are, change it, maximize the contribution, make that money come out before you ever see it, and you won't notice it. And you'll start saving. When my son came out of college, the first thing he asked me is, hey, the company I'm working for has a 401k, and I'm going to can't afford to put any money in there. No, son. Brian, you got to max your contribution into your 401k today and every day going forward. If you want to be a millionaire, when you go to retire, don't count on Social Security. Don't count on anything else. Count on yourself. Just be a big boy, put your boots on, pull them up by the straps, and now learn how to live with what your net is out of your check. Maximize that company match. Maximize the funds that are going in there. When he got married, the same thing for my daughter-in-law. Maximize your money going into your retirement. She was a teacher. Maximize the money going into teacher retirement and 403Bs or any other vehicle to go through. Saves you money on taxes, maximizes your contribution. You'll have a lot more money at retirement and never, ever, ever, ever touch that account. Ignore it. Act like it doesn't exist. Amazing how that works. And you ever wonder why the government itself has your employer withhold federal income tax? Because if you had to make a quarterly tax payment like many small business owners have to, you would hate taxes as much as every small business owner does when you see what it does to your check. The first check you get, you notice it. The second, third, fourth, you probably notice it. The fifth, you're done looking. You don't even pay attention to what comes out anymore. You're living on what that net is. So we tell you, suck it up, Buttercup. Make the contributions to your IRAs or 401ks when your employer offers it to you, and you'll never feel it. Hey, you're a W-2 employee. You're looking for something else? Start a side hustle. Hey, make part of your phone bill tax deductible. Make home office tax deductible. If you can, make sure you qualify. Mileage on your car. Go into your side hustle. Take advantage of those expenses, things that you're going to be using, and make them tax deductible, pre-tax items. We always preach, when I talk Truck to Success, seminar offered by OOIDA and the foundation there, I always talk, how do you maximize your tax savings? And it's by taking items that you are spending after tax dollars and making them before tax. So you're moving them over from here, which is after you've already paid the tax and then paying them, and moving them over here and being able to expense it and pay it before you pay the tax. They're tax deductible items, ordinary and necessary expenses for your business, your side hustle. whatever you may be. You're now running a business, and now maybe you can rent your home using the Augusta rule 14 days without reporting the income that you're earning from it to the IRS. The only catch you got to be is it can't be your yours primary place of business, meaning you may have to have another office somewhere. Hey, but your office location can be anywhere, but you got to have one. So if you don't have a home office, you're not renting a room in your house for your business meetings or stuff, you can rent that home office use there for business meetings. Maybe you're doing some entertainment. You can do entertainment and write off that entertainment. You're entertaining clients, future clients, prospects, friends that may be prospects or be able to send you referrals. All that can be in line with renting your home and marketing for your business. Or maybe now you get the side hustle and you're looking for other places and you decide you want to take a trip. And part of that trip is to get business. You can reduce your vacation costs by deducting a percentage of expenses spent for business purposes. This can include your airfare, part of your hotel bill, proportionate to the amount of time that you spend there on business activities. But you got to be very cautious mixing business and pleasure. Business owners who, generally are going to get greedy using this write-off and begin writing off expenses that aren't legitimate business, you could find yourselves in deep trouble with the IRS if you get audited. You got to apply, a little common sense. You don't see that very much anymore, but you do need to apply some common sense to using a write-off, using your business for travel. Hey, our travel this weekend was a complete write-off. We were making stops, talking to truckers at truck stops all along the way because, one, we were using it for marketing for our business. When I travel, it's about marketing. It's about bringing in new clients or even just finding out what truckers do or what they're looking for. When we go into small businesses, my wife and I work together in this business, so maybe we're going out to a new restaurant and we ask to meet the owners and we talk to the owners or the managers because we're there not just to eat, but to try to earn somebody's business. My daughter and my kids laugh at me because when I walk into a place, I happen to like to talk. Imagine that. And that means I'm having a conversation with managers or an owner of a business, talking about how their business is, how it's going, kind of establishing a rapport with them to maybe one day sell them on bringing their business to us, or finding out if, hey, there's a tax problem and you need help. Finding out if there's some way we can help them in their business and be of service to them to help them go through. Other ideas, if you're in business, things that you can do is accelerate depreciation on business assets. Now, that does not mean run out and buy a new piece of equipment just so you can get the depreciation. Come on, let's have some common sense to this. I hear people all the time talking about, hey, my CPA or my tax guy gave me guidance, and my enrolled agent said, go out and buy a new truck or a new piece of equipment because it's going to save me money on my taxes. Yes, it will. Okay, be honest, it will. But is it the right thing to do for your business? Does it make your business more efficient, more cost effective? Does it help you in the business? If you can't answer yes to any of those, you're just replacing some good piece of equipment with a newer piece of equipment to get the depreciation and the write-off. If you spend $100,000 on it to get a $25,000 write-off, you're still out $75,000. And if you didn't pay cash for it, you have an extra loan out there that you're paying interest on every single month, principal and interest going out of your account. And that's money that hurts your cash flow. So it may have provided you that tax savings, but it also is costing you a lot more money, especially if you're replacing a perfectly good, valuable piece of equipment with something else that doesn't make sense business-wise or efficiency-wise. So using bonus depreciation sometimes isn't even the right thing, because sometimes it's taking and using depreciation at a lower tax rate than what your future tax rate may be. Or maybe you bought this new piece of equipment knowing that you're not going to continue using it or being out of business next few years. And now you've taken all the depreciation, you turn around and sell your piece of equipment, and now you have income coming in because there was no basis, and you pay tax on it as well. Hey, a couple of questions. I'd love to work on finishing this out with questions. How does affiliate marketing fit into taxes if you're making a commission from affiliate programs? Well, when you're referring to affiliate programs, we refer to some affiliate programs. Sometimes our marketing is around getting new clients, not just for us, but for them. So if we're referring some of these people over to an affiliate of ours, we're able to take the deduction for marketing as an expense against that affiliate income as well. So being that, hey, sometimes your business out there is combining a couple of different things, you'll be able to write it off as you go, even if it's your business is all around receiving leads and referring them to an affiliate, so you can earn your commission. Yes, you can write that off against that as well. Here's one. Are hotshot truckers included in the trucking service you offer? Absolutely. We have several hotshot truckers out there that we work with. Our service is based at Trucker Tax Tools around trucking industry, transportation industry across the board. So, if you need help, give us a call, give Trucker Tax Tools a call, and, come see us. 877-966-2477. Again, 877-966-2477. Let us get you started talking about your bookkeeping and your taxes with us. Hey, our low-cost plans, we're $25 a week. And if you're an OIDA member, you get all kinds of discounts. If you're not, we'll even have a great program where we'll pay for your first year's membership with OOIDA, Owner Operator Independent Drivers Association. We love those guys over there. We also work with a few other trucking associations out there as well, and a bunch of real estate associations across the country. So, we're here to help you and your business and small business. If you happen to have a tax problem, hey, give us a call. Taxation Solutions, Tax Relief, taxationsolutions.net. We've helped fight IRS problems. You can call the same number at Trucker Tax Tools, or you can call us direct at 888-930-1016, 888-930-1016. And speaking of affiliate marketing, if you're doing affiliate marketing and you know somebody that needs help, whether it's bookkeeping for truckers or small business or tax relief, hey, we have affiliates around the country as well that, hey, we pay for the referrals once they become a client. We love the referrals coming from our friends and family. When you're sitting around the table on a holiday or out on the picnic and somebody talks about a tax problem, hey, hey, I got the guy for that. Barry Fowler over at Taxation Solutions Tax Relief. We got the guy. I got the guy in trucking. I got the guy that can help your small business. This is what we're all about. Connect with us over on Facebook. You can go to Taxation Solutions Facebook. Connect with us on Instagram, truckertaxtools.com, Trucker Tax Tools Facebook, Trucker Tax Tools Instagram, and of course, taxtalkforyou.com. Follow us over there. Like it, share it, love it. But whatever you do, be back here next Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, right on here on W4CY Radio, Trucker Tax Tools, and Tax Talk for You, Taxation Solutions. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the questions today. Look forward to seeing you next week right here at taxtalkforyou.com. Thank you. Have a God blessed and glorious week.
Are you an individual or business that wants to understand taxes and how they affect you? Are you looking for specific tax advice for self-employed, business owners, and truckers? Are you behind on taxes and your bookkeeping? Are you dealing with the IRS and ready to have some relief? Then you need Tax Talk for You, hosted by tax and trucker expert Barry G. Fowler, EA. Tune in 10 a.m. Eastern Time every Monday right here on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Don't forget to check this and past episodes at taxtalkforyou.com. See you next week at W4CY.com.